Hello all. So today in this video I will show you how you can use JavaScript's fetch method to fetch the data from an API and display it into a tabular format like this. So let's get started and jump into our editor. So I have the basic markup ready for this video, which I have an empty table, and I have also given the styles to this table, and we will be populating the header and the body of this table using our JavaScript. So for this video we have one API, it is a SpaceX API of their history which we will be dealing with, and also populating its content into the table. As you can see, this is the one object of the entire API, and the other objects are similar to this. I will give a better image of this object while writing our JavaScript code, so don't worry if it's not clear to you right now. Okay, so we are now at our editor. Now we will write some code to populate our table which we have made in HTML. So now first we will need to write a async function. We will name it as fill table, which will accept two parameters: URL, which is the API link which we will be fetching, and the table which we have to populate using JavaScript. So first we have to grab the head of the table and then the body. So we will use that using our DOM methods, which is query selector. You can select it using any other like get elements by class, but query selector is the most common, so I will be using that. Once you have done with selecting the table head and table body, we now need to get the fetch the URL and store it inside our variable. But there's one problem with this code. We know that JavaScript is single threaded, and sometimes the API which we will be fetching is a very large API, and it will take some time to fetch all the content. So we need to write await function here. So until this step is not completed, the code will not execute the next line. Otherwise, if we don't use await, even if this line is still processing, the JavaScript will start executing the next line. So we need to use the await function. Similarly, in this line, we will be converting that response storing that response into a data and convert it into a JSON format. For that also we have to use await for the similar reasons. So now I will be giving you the idea how our object looks like. So for that we need to console.log data of 0, which will be giving us the first object of our API. And now we can see we have 6 keys in total, and one of the key also has the value as type object. So we need to code our logic according to that, so that we can display the value of this key as well. And also we have done only data of 0 because we know that in this API all other objects are of the same type. So even if we check the keys of data of 0, all other objects will also be having the same keys, so we can use them as our headers. So now as we have the idea of how the data looks like, we can now populate our table, but before that we need a code to clear our table. At first it will be useless because initially your table will be empty, so this code will be doing nothing initially. But as you refresh the page, then when you refresh, let's say if you have some content on your page, you don't want the other data which you are populating the table with to get appended to the table. You instead want that data to freshly store in the table. So for that we need this code, which is very important. So for that we will be setting the inner HTML of head as this right here, and also we will be setting the inner HTML of body as blank. So now we are all good to populate our header. So for that we will need a foreign loop. This is the foreign loop emmet of VS Code. We will clear this out. Let's say we call it header text in data of 0. Now we know for headers we need to access the keys. So let's create a header element. This header element we'll be creating a table head just like this. Now we need to access the header element, and by using the text content method we can set the content to this header element. So the content which we want to display is this header text, which will be the key of our object. So we can write header text here. And now since we have written the code to the header element, we also want it to display in our table. So for that we have to use our append child method. For that, first we need to select the select the table row using query selector, and then append it to our table. So now you should be seeing the headers in our table. As we know that this has the 6 elements and we are having 6 headings, so this is perfect. Now what we need to do is we have to populate our table with the contents. So this is for contents. For contents we will be needing a for loop. Let's do this. Data.length. Let's clear this out. So now first we need to create a variable which will store all the values which we have to display in our table body. So this obj variable will be storing all the values of our object, and also now we have to create one row element which will basically be a row. We will create it and it will store all the values of our object. Now we also need to access the values of the object and store display it into a table. For that we will be using a for of loop, and we will give it the name of cell text. We will first create a cell element which will basically be a table division, and this will be used to store the values. So let's create a cell element. Now we need to set the cell element with some value. So for that we will be using the text content property to give some text to this cell element, and that text content will be nothing but our cell text, which is the value which is the value from the JSON object, because this obj is storing all the values. So cell text will be the values of those objects, because we have given object as object.values of data. So we need to set the text content of our cell element as cell text. So once this is done, we need to fill our row element with this cell element, because row element is one row and this cell element is one division. So we need 6 divisions, so we need to append those into the row. For that we will be using append child, and then we will append all the cell elements to that. And now we have to append this to table body. So for that we will be using append child only, and we will be appending the row element. So the whole row will get appended into a table. So now you can see, so we have a typo. I have misspelled the document spelling here on line 26. So let's correct that. And now you should see the table filled with the data, but there's one problem here. In the links part, when we see on our object, the link is basically a link is an object with key article and this link, and what we have to do is we have to display this link into the table, but it is showing object. So let's modify our code a bit. We need to do some if checks. If type of cell text is equal to object, then what we have to do is we have this will be similar piece of code with some minor changes. So I will copy it here. Let's give it the proper indentation. And since we know this cell text is an object, because this links part is object, and also we want to display the value, so we again need to use object.values method here, so that we can get the values of that object as well. So if we use this, and else if it is not an object, we need to enclose our other code into the else part. So now you should see all the links in our table. So as you can see, with some minor changes, we can now see all the links in our table as well. So this is how you can use JavaScript's fetch API method to display the contents in a table. Thank you so much for watching.